We'll get the
Yeah, he
payouts
told
for
me
you guys
that,
listed up here
your
on the
hat is
screen
ugly.
ASAP.
The tournament director there, I forget his name. I said, Matt Savage, I was wearing an Arya hat. He said that your hat is ugly, but he gave me a hat. You tell me your hat is ugly, you don't give me any hat. He said, if you give me your hat, you know, if I give you a hat, will you give me yours? I said, no, after the tournament I give it to
Mo
you.
over here complaining that our chip leader's wearing a hat from another property. It's all good though. We're all friends here.
700.
And here we go. Amir makes it 700 to go from under the gun, and in the hijack, Sean Yu with pocket queens.
At lunchtime, probably, yeah, that would sound good.
While Sean is thinking this.
All right, you get free lunch. Wow, what a deal, what a deal.
Yeah. I've said what versus a few times. How hard is it to listen there, buddy?
I have a 10 people, you know, crew here. You know, do I get, you know, lunch for them too?
Oh,
Sure, you can be angry though. Be an angry person.
You know,
So let's
yeah.
see what Sean is going to do here. Looks like he is going to 3-bet with these queens.
What was the action there? We're so busy talking. You know, there's a raise 600 and Sean 2.2.
And wow, it looks like Andrew has ace-king off in the small. He is only playing a little over 15 bigs. No choice here really but to rip it in, even though he's probably not getting a fold from Sean ever at this point. Sean's committed to call even if he is bluffing. Essentially. And he's just making sure, but this should be a snap call here with queens.
Call.
And he does say call.
That's it.
We got a classic race on our hands, boys and girls.
Am I waiting? I'm just going. I'm not. Just go, right?
In the window. Wow.
Wow, what a flop. Sean with a set of queens. Neither player with a spade in their hand, so just a straight draw for Andrew, and he is not going to hit it. And just like that, Andrew is going to be our 9th place finisher. Since it is a quantum, you could buy in for $2,200, and you got 210K in chips, right?
Hey, Jeff.
Currently, the
Can we
big
get
blind
this
is
fixed?
300,000.
Break, or?
So it shows how long these guys have been playing, how high the blinds have gotten to. And here we go, 2 pretty big hands. Jose raising under the gun off of 15.9 million here. And so that's about 50 bigs, a little over. Eli with a similar stack.
It has to be like where his
Ace queen suited, +2. I do prefer a call here, facing an under the gun raise.
raise. 1.85.
I think a hand like ace queen suited is pretty good to just call when you 3-bet versus an under the gun range and they continue. You're usually not in great shape. However, it's a pretty good hand, and against the loosest players, you know, 3-betting it versus under the gun is fine. If I was going to 3-bet, I'd probably prefer to 3-bet a hand like ace queen off that's not quite as good and flat with the ace queen suited. And now we'll see how Jose proceeds here, understanding that his under the gun range should be pretty strong. And so when you get 3-bet from your under the gun open, you've got to be pretty concerned about what they have. But ace king suited, premium hand here. Don't expect a fold. I wouldn't be surprised if he does just call. Eli, one of the tougher players at this final table. I've played quite a bit with him, and he is pretty aggressive. I would say he's likely the best player at this final table, him and Sean Yu. It's hard to say, but versus his 3-betting range. I think I would put out a 4-bet here with the ace-king suited. And there you go, queen high flop. Great flop for Eli here. He is going to make a continuation bet. And that's going to get the fold from Jose. So lucky flop there for Eli. Gets it done. Okay, so I've been told by my graphics guy that at the beginning of this tournament that since it is single ante, the ante was assigned to each player in the software, so it's showing a pot size much larger than that pot actually is. It should be fixed here in a couple hands.
Fine, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good idea.
Raise 700,000.
Amir here, another LA regular with pocket tens. Makes it 700K to go.
Call.
Cake says I'd wager all the money on Sean Yu to win it. Not a bad pick. Sean Yu is a closer. When he makes FTs, he ships. Sean Yu, a friend of mine, LA grinder. He's at every single tourney, always out there. Jose defends 6-4 suited from the big, and Amir is going to flop middle set. Nothing for Jose, though, unfortunately, for Amir.
Bet 750.
Snap fold from Jose. So let me tell you guys who's all at this final table. Seat 1 fell in 9th place. That was Andrew Wall. Lost ace-king versus pocket queens of Sean Yu pre-flop. About 4 or 5 hands into the FT. Seat 2 is Jordan. Seat 3 is Amir. Seat 4 is Steven. Seat 5 is Jared. Cool name, Jared. Work on the spelling a little, but it's a cool name. Next we got Jose, then we got Sean, we got Eli, and we have our chip leader, Bizad, who has 23.9 million chips. Blinds are currently 300,000.
Raised 700,000.
Eli with the KK. Jared here with Jack 10 suited on the button. Playing 2.0 million, 2.025 million. Interesting spot for him here. If that is his stack, he's very, very short stacked here. He lays it down. Which, given his stack, he really has zero fold equity at all, so I don't mind the fold there. It's interesting to play a stack as small as, you know, 7 or 8 big blinds like he appears to have. I think folding after an open there is probably the right move. If it folds to him with that hand, it's an easy shove.
First that. Check.
Sean with pocket 9s in the big just calls. Smart decision by him here as he is up against kings. Flop goes check, check.
A lot of money now.
Yeah, not as much, like, when you start paying your bills, when you have nothing to pay, yeah, $1,000. You get to kind of leave your buddy. You hear that, Bob?
Sean's going to start betting here on this turn.
Raise. I'm sorry, bet. 700,000.
It's an interesting spot to bet with pocket 9s. When Eli checks back on this flop, which he should be betting most of the time, I would tend to put him on some kind of weak ace or a hand like kings or queens or jacks, which isn't going to fold to 1 bet here with the 9s. So if he's betting the 9s
Call.
and wants to bluff with them, he's definitely going to have the barrel on the river. The problem is that 9s just has a decent amount of showdown value here, so not sure. He does block the straight, and he's going to have the 8-9 more often, so if he does want to turn his hand into a bluff, bombing this river might not be bad. If I was in Eli's spot, I probably would have just c-bet the flop to avoid being in these situations. Yeah, Sean bet quite small on the flop, excuse me, on the turn, so may just be more of a pot control thing where he's trying to set his price for what he calls on the turn.
Check. Showdown.
And it goes check, check.
Shows 9. Shows kings.
Sean says an ace is good. Eli's like, I don't have an ace. $212,000 for first on this one, guys. I did read the payouts out earlier. We can get them to post them in the chat as well.
$725.
But it's 20 grand for 8th, 212 for first.
It's always the misdeal, isn't it, boys?
Here we go.
Misdeal that leaves us with the decision.
So we get the misdeal, and the replacement hand is dealt. And what do we know? Steven has 9s, and Jared, the short stack, the severe short stack, has QQ.
All in.
Taylor asked, why am I not vacationing somewhere after my score? I can't stop, man. Have to keep grinding. Gonna go play the Bay 101 Shooting Star tournament. Head out there tomorrow. I'm gonna take a vacation in a few weeks, though. Planning some stuff. So, Jared, of course, shoves. And Steven has a snap call here. I'm not sure what, did he call already? He's asking for a count.
A little over 4.
Easiest call of all time.
C2, C2, C2. Come on, man. Come on. Don't belittle my stack.
Says he thinks he might be calling. Really?
2 cards.
Really? You think he might be?
All because Dave said, let's do this deal.
Ha, yeah, that's right, Ben. I'm gonna go play the Shooting Stars.
It's like 4-9.
No.
Bringing a bottle of hand sanitizer with me.
Well, 4-9. He already counted the 4.
Okay. Well, I'm really surprised he hasn't called at this point. I mean, he should have known beforehand probably that we were dealing with a 5 big blind stack, but he reluctantly makes the call.
He doesn't miss
deal, right?
Yeah.
Sees that it's queens versus nines. Yeah, Steve, it does
Oh,
kind of look like Jeff
queen.
Madsen. You make a good point.
Oh my God! Look at that. Oh, this
Set over set, unlucky.
double up.
So Jared's gonna double up. Much needed double up for Jared.
No. Yeah. You're supposed to be railing me, man. You're here on the table. Come back here. You're railing? You're railing? Come on back here, man. You're railing.
Alright, if we're playing a hand together, I'll stand right behind you.
Oh, you will?
Make sure you look at your cards a lot.
Okay. I'll give you a view.
Raise to 900,000.
All right, man. I hope you all go deep. No?
So Jared limp calls here with the ace-7
you know
suited
what?
from the small.
You know what? You have a point there. Yeah, some of
Does
us are
have
going
30
to go
big
probably.
points now,
Some of us, yeah, some of us.
so it's certainly reasonable.
No, we can't.
Jared flopping middle pair. Jose with a gut shot, an ace high. Interesting bet here from Jose. Not a great flop for his big blind raising range.
When is it? Next
All
week?
low cards here. 3 of hearts on the turn.
Wednesday? WPT?
I might go to the Venetian next weekend though. Venetian, it's a 5K WPT. Yeah,
Oh, 5 people WPT? Venetian?
it's a good one. Third one.
When is it? Next week?
It's next weekend.
One day?
Well, this coming weekend, I mean.
One day?
it's already
Oh,
booked.
this coming?
Yeah, this coming weekend. There's 2 flights. Yeah.
2 flights?
Oh.
A lot of the LA guys moved up.
So the turn goes check, check. 5 of diamonds on the river gives Jose the straight.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Compared to
Looks like Jared is going to make a bet here.
Bet. 975,000.
Blocker bet, basically, I guess. Third pot. And we will see if Jose elects to raise here. The flush did get there. Jose is going to raise it up, thinking he can get some value here from some other worse hands. 2 pairs and sets.
You know who's commentating today? You know who's commentating?
JJ's brother, he was, but it might be like JJ's brother.
You did it a couple of times, right?
Yeah, I've done it in the past.
You've done it in the past, yeah.
But Jared's been doing it recently.
Has he?
Grinding.
Oh, has he?
What's up, Sean? It is me. It is me. So I'm not sure what Jared's thinking about here. I can't imagine
Yeah.
Jose raising here as a bluff, like ever. I haven't played much with Jose, but given the hands so far and just sort of logically, I don't think he's bluffing in this spot. And he does let it go. There's the payouts for you. Like I said, we lost Andrew right off the bat. These guys are playing for $212,000 up top. Huge prize pool. Jose raising the button here with Jack, Deuce, O. Pretty loose there. Pretty loose open. Into Eli's big blind as well, who is one of the tougher players at this table, and he does have chips. So I'm not sure what we're doing here, raising Jack Deuce off. Great flop for Eli, flops 2 pair. But, yep, do expect to see a C-bet from Jose, and he does indeed do it. KG of Circle says, sending a shout out to Jared, the Beast Griner, and all the positive vibes to my brother Sean, SFYU. Yes, what's up, man? Shout out to you, and yes, good luck to Sean. And Eli's just going to call. Well, great turn. He turns a boat. This is a fairly wet board. You can have some straight and flush draws to check raise with. With a 2 pair like this, bottom 2, I do like a check raise. A decent amount of the time. I think calling's fine too, but I may have gone for a check raise. Now that he has the lock on it, we'll see if Jose wants to barrel again. Jose does not have any spades. Okay, he checks. See that river. 8 of spades, so the flush gets there. We'll see if Eli checks again, hoping to get a bluff from Jose, but given that Jose bet flop and check back turn, we're expecting him to have a lot of aces here, and Eli is probably just going to bet, but we're about to find out. And Eli does indeed bet. Snap fold from Jose. So, ended up losing a pretty small amount, but just kind of chips unnecessarily lost there. What about Ace King of Hearts on the button? Is this a fold or a raise? Or maybe it's a limp.
That's right.
What do you guys think?
When you had yesterday, when you had three pocket threes.
Looks like Eli's going with the raise option.
Yeah, big game. I know. I do know.
That is 700K.
Makes it 700K. Ooh, Bizad in the small with the ace-queen offsuit. Cooler situation here. Bizad's gonna 3-bet.
1.8. No, 1.6.
I don't know. That's what he said.
Makes it 1.6 million. Now, remember, Eli's raise was to 700,000, so this 3-bet is very, very small. Honestly, can't expect to get almost any hand to fold, except for the very, very weakest hands. Just because of the price given, Eli only has to call 900K more.
Small bet.
3 betting here from the small blind. We do need to bet a sizing quite a bit larger than this. But these guys are the 2 chip leaders, so I wouldn't be surprised if Eli just called. Looks like that's what he is going to do. Although button versus small blind, I would lean towards 4 betting.
Well, he can have better than me, but he's bluffing still.
No. I said he has a flush.
5-8-6 rain.
No flush?
Yeah, of course, no flush. Yeah.
I think no flush.
Alright,
Yeah.
just tell us now. Who's right? Who's right or who's wrong?
No,
$20 and 20 push-ups, yeah.
No, just $20.
it doesn't have to be bluff or not. You just have to say flush. No
Eli had ace queen versus ace king as well,
On the river.
and he did 3 bet versus Jose's under the gun open, and Jose just peeled.
Come on TV. And
Flop came queen high, and Eli won. This time the situation is reversed, but no queens.
I say no flush.
Okay, goes check check on the flop.
He says flush.
thinks you have a flush.
Really nothing for either player here.
Beautiful.
Where you give him the information and he doesn't. We're gonna make you wait.
He's not
reciprocating. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. No doubt about it. He wants to make me wait.
And I do think that
Kevin will let us know.
Eli just called pre here just because of the size of the 3 bet, made it so easy to just call. And he's second in chips, Bizot is first. You may think that Bizot doesn't bluff much from the small blind, which is probably true, but he does 3 bet, you know, a lot of worse hands. If you make a decent 4 bet, he may even call with ace queen.
But he doesn't have a six.
And yeah, Eli's hand is pretty under-repped here, so he's going to call. Thinks Bizot would probably bet the flop with most of his pairs that he 3 bet with. And there we go, ace on the river. So guaranteed now that Bizot is going to lose a decent amount. He's going to value bet this river most likely, I would say. It's like a tiny one.
850.
And Eli just calls, just snaps. I would have thought maybe a little bit there about a raise, but
Was the ace the river?
Yeah.
that's probably a little too ambitious.
You rivered it?
It's like
Did
that.
it break
It's like
after this?
yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. Then 2 hours after that. Yeah. That's good. I'm cool with that.
$1,950,000.
Jose, who has already been shown to have some light opens from early position, is now getting 3 bet here from Jordan. He opens +1 with 6s. Jordan makes the 3 bet with ace-9 suited, makes it 1.95. Jose's raise was to 700K. It's a 300K big blind. Carter T, this is Jared Griener in the booth. Thank you for joining us today. This is the Quantum Millions final table. These guys are playing for first place prize of $212,000. And Jose has just been in a lot of spots so far where he's just been thinking, and some of them spots he didn't have to put himself into. This one seems like a standard raise with pocket 6s.
Was he bluffing?
I don't know what I would do in his spot. Probably fold. Jordan hasn't 3 bet yet so far. This sizing is a little more standard, giving the stack sizes.
Yeah.
Just under 3x. You know, earlier on in tournaments, we're going to see 3 bet sizing bigger than this, but given these stacks, the 3 bet sizing can be smaller.
What, at a 6 or something? At a 6.
OEO asked, did I play this tourney? I sure did. Yeah, I bought in for $2,200 on Saturday. Had a good stack at 1.2, and I bluffed a little too much. Bluffed it off in a couple hands. But I did end up cashing, you know, for like 1,300 bucks, so I got a little money back. Yeah, it definitely would be nice if we had an action clock at this final table. José, apúrate, por favor. Nos estás aburriendo. And I would say like the vast majority of the time when a player tanks this long, they fold. It's like 95%. Davey Stewart says I should speak American. I don't know what language that is, bro. Speak American. If you don't like America, then you can get out. Oh, so he 4-bets.
3,950,000.
Wait, what? Okay. So after the long tank and then a 4-bet, that tends to be quite strong. And you know, the 4-bet sizing is pretty small, just basically 2x. But I still think Jordan's gonna have to fold here. Kind of like the 4-bet after thinking for that long. Like I said, it just comes in as very strong. The sizing does seem a little small to me. I mean, you don't need a 4-bet huge, but you also don't want to give the player a price in position to just call. He does lay it down. So well played by Jose. This is a quantum tournament. I'll keep mentioning the same stuff again because I know a lot of you guys are tuning in.
Yeah.
A lot of players got in for
$360
$360 and then you could buy into day 2 for $2,200.
7.
So Eli under the gun with ace-jack makes it 700. Sean is going to defend big with king-9 of diamonds.
But last time you played that hand.
King, jack 7, 2 hearts, 1 diamond. So good flop for Sean.
Oh, not the last time. That's the last
Pair
one.
of jacks for Eli.
All right.
Yeah, Jordan's been
Not
getting
the one
ace 9 of spades a few times here. He 3-bet it the first time, and then he was like, I'm not playing that hand again. After he got 4-bet, he's like, F ace 9 suited.
800. I mean, 550. 550 is bad.
I get like top 3 in this.
550.
So Eli with the down bet. 550K.
Did they already like pre-read? There's only 300. Yeah, there's only 300 seats available total, and then you're on like a wait list.
Where's located? San Jose?
Sean gonna make the call. Pretty straightforward. 3 of spades on the turn doesn't change too much.
They brought it down.
This is a spot. It's interesting to lead sometimes when your opponent down bets and you've got top pair like this. I've seen some players doing it more often these days just because it's likely to go check-check a lot. But perhaps you could do that with your stronger kings. 2 pairs. I expect Eli to check back though. Yeah. 6 of clubs on the river.
There's like 300 seats just in satellite. No, can you ask me for it?
I might need you to do that too, but I'll wait till after.
Sean's gonna go for some value here on this river. And Eli, without a heart in his hand, is gonna be very tempted to call. But it would be pretty strong if he could find a fold. Sean usually plays his draws fairly aggressively. I feel like this is a value bet most of the time. And he makes the call and sees the bad news. Sean Yu is going to take this pot down. I like the bet and the sizing there from Sean. This is just going to be a standard rip from Jared.
No.
3-bet is the 2.2.
Then I corrected myself.
I would be supremely shocked with any other outcome. Too short of a stack to peel.
You start talking to myself randomly every next minute.
And you can just happily shove this stack, really. And he says all in.
Oh, well.
And gets snapped.
Ace king?
Very unlucky for Jared here. Runs ace king into aces. Black aces, which we know are the best. Any kind of hope here. Oh, there's 2 hearts. Let's give it 10 of hearts here. No. That's going to be it for Jared Einson.
We'll drink later, though.
Very unlucky. Running ace king into aces.
85. Raise.
85 is good.
850,000.
Sean Yu with the queen 10 suited. Makes it 850 from +1. Remember, we're 7-handed.
Oh, shoot.
Fold. Good luck. Fold.
Steven's going to put it in from the big with 4-3 suited.
3-4.
Clubs, come on, man.
Oh, you have 3?
They'd only have 4 big blinds, so it's a pretty tough spot. I'm not sure what to do. Don't ask me on this one, but he's going to have 34% equity here. So much for that, though.
No diamonds. Uh-oh.
Got some outs, couple outs. That's not one of them. So Steven is going to bow out in 7th place. Going to take home 27 grand.
Just feels bad when you snap your bet and I have ace queen.
Pocket jacks now. Had pocket 9s on the last hand, now a mirror pocket jacks under the gun.
1.35.
Yes.
8-9 suited for Sean in the cutoff. For some players, I could imagine shoving this hand. He does only have 11 bigs, And versus EP open from Amir, I don't think I'm ever getting a fold.
All in.
And Sean does move all in. We know he's going to get called by at least one player here.
Almost certain I'm gonna call, but I need to just get a count. 6.4. 6.4. Yeah, I call.
Makes the call.
Too late, Shadow.
Let's still have to do it.
9 high.
So we got 9-8 suited versus the pocket jacks of Amir. Sean Yu is at risk. Tournament life on the line here with 6 players left at the bike.
7.4?
If Sean Yu is our 6th place finisher, he's going to take down $38,000, but he wants better than that. Not going to happen.
Good game, man.
Amir is going to eliminate Sean, who finishes in 6th place.
Good luck, gentlemen.
So there you can see our chip counts. Bizad, who started out this final table as the chip leader, is now the short stack. Him and Jordan both with about 20 big blinds.
Hey, June.
And Amir is closing in on Eli now for the chip lead.
Raise 1.6.
Jordan makes it 1.6 from the cutoff with King 5 suited. Off of 11 big blinds. And I mean, I don't know. It feels like they're more standard thing to see here is an all-in pre. If you're going to play the hand. But off of 11 bigs, there's still stuff you can do. You know, I see a lot of people limp. But King High Flop probably is going to be GG for Jordan. Man. Goes check, check.
$2 million is better.
Jordan now going to bet 2 million. Has 5 million behind. Less than pot left now. And I don't know what Eli's going to do here. Either shove or call. The stack to pot ratio is just so small here. It's sort of silly. There you go, and he is going to shove. Now, you know, Jordan's got 6 big blinds behind, 7 big blinds. You know, you can't open this hand off of 11 big flop top pair and fold, I don't believe. Yeah, I just don't know what Jordan's thinking here.
Call. Turn them up.
Yeah, he does call. And he is down to 5%. Not going to get there. Jordan is going to be our 5th place finisher after we played 5-handed for quite some time.
Re-raise. 4.4.
So Jose with ace queen O here. Under the gun makes it 1.7. Eli wielding the stack. 3-betting the button with ace-8 suited. And, you know, I feel like this is pretty decent and is going to work a lot of the time. But not this time. So in this spot for Jose, I'm really not sure what he's thinking. Given the stack sizes, he has sub 30 big blinds, and Eli's bluffing a decent amount. I think I would just probably rip, but you know, the pay jumps and the ICM are the huge things to consider here. Bazad only has 6.7 million, sub 10 big blinds, but yeah, he does move it all in. It's just too strong of a hand, given his stack size, given the fact that Eli is really loosening up here. And should just be a snap fold for Eli. Eli's never calling here. So just saving face a little bit for a minute, but just fold. Come on. Let it go. And he lets it go. Make sure you guys subscribe to liveatthebike.com. Use promo code POKER and you can get a week for free. 7 days. Check it out. You'll enjoy it. You can rewatch all of the high stakes cash game action we have on Live at the Bike, as well as tourney replays, training videos, etc. So here you can see Bazad is down to 7 whole big blinds. He is very short.
Race 1.750.
But now Eli should continue to raise. I mean, in theory, he could be raising like any 2 cards here. He raises the Queen 10 and Bazad moves all in with 7s. With an 8 big blind stack, Eli's going to have to call off.
Yeah, fine.
2, 7. Yes. 8.1.
8.1, okay. So it is a little more than the graphic shows here. So he has 10 big blinds.
I have 0 4s in my hand.
He does lay it down, which is, for 10 big blinds,
You don't want to double up the short stack, huh?
I think it makes sense to fold.
Smart, especially the short stack. You want to get rid of him.
So we corrected the chip count there for Bazad. He's got a little more now, 11.8 million.
Raise to 2.2.
Bizad now with ace queen, gonna raise it up. Given his stack, I would just be shoving with this hand, just open shoving, I believe. And then Eli just folds with ace high.
There we go.
Check. Check, check. Check.
Quite the turn here for Amir. He flatted the small blind versus Eli's open here. And Eli turning a pair queens now. But Amir has turned the nuts. Broadway.
$1.950. $1.950. Yes, $1.950.
And Eli's going to bet.
$5 million. 5.2.
Check raise incoming from Amir. And it's frustrating, but probably just needs to be a fold here from Eli. It's just never a bluff here from Amir in this spot, I don't believe. Let's it go. So these guys are discussing a deal, like you can hear. You guys know we're on a delay. I can let you know that they do end up agreeing on a deal. If you guys want to stay tuned in for these negotiations, they'll be negotiating for a few minutes. They do come to an agreement. And I'm going to give you guys the numbers right here because we do not have a screen shot of it. The final chop numbers were Bizad, $87,395. Amir, $108,765.
102.
Jose,
102.
$126,125. And your winner is going to be Eli, who takes home $156,730. Well done to everybody. Locking up a huge, huge score. Obviously, the stacks are pretty shallow right now. Makes sense to do a deal. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this tournament with us.
That's it, even.
Have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you guys next time on Live at the Bike. Later.
Thinking?